Picture this. You walk to the bank with your dad. He's holding your hand tight, too tight. Outside the bank, there's a line, not a normal line, a silent line. No one's talking, no one's smiling, and the bank doors are locked. Your dad leans down and whispers, "If we don't get our money today, we may never get it." That is the Great Depression. Not a bad economy, not a history lesson, a moment when the money system, this invisible thing everyone depends on, broke in public. And here's the uncomfortable part. The system didn't break because people ran out of money. It broke because people ran out of trust. And that's why this story matters right now. Because modern finance is still built on the same fragile ingredient, confidence. Let's rewind. America, late 1920s. Everything feels unstoppable. New inventions, new factories, new millionaires. The stock market is the main character. Every day, prices go up. And when prices go up long enough, people stop thinking it's luck. They start thinking it's law. The vibe is simple. This is the new era. Nothing can stop us. We figured it out. And if you weren't investing, you weren't cautious, you were stupid. Now, here's the explained like you're five version of what was really happening. The country was playing a giant game of pretend. Pretend number one, banks are safe. Most people think a bank is a vault. You put money in, it sits there waiting for you. But banks don't work like that. Banks take your money and lend most of it to other people. That's the whole business. They keep only a small slice in cash, just enough for normal days, which means the bank is fine only if everybody stays calm. The bank isn't built to survive panic, it's built to survive routine. That's not a conspiracy, that's just the design. Pretend number two, stocks only go up. In the 1920s, millions of people started buying stocks, but not with money they had, with money they borrowed. This was called buying on margin. Translation, you pay a little, you borrow the rest because you're sure prices will rise. It's like buying a bicycle with $5 because you're convinced you can sell it tomorrow for 10. And if you're right, you look like a genius. If you're wrong, you don't just lose money, you owe money. That difference matters because it turns investing into a trap door. So by 1929, the stock market is basically a tower, not built from profits, not built from real value, built from borrowed money stacked on borrowed money. And towers like that don't fall slowly, they fall all at once. October 1929, the market starts dropping. At first, it's just a dip, then it becomes a slide, then it turns into a scream. Because when prices fall, lenders get nervous and they demand their money back. This is the part people forget. When you buy stocks on margin, the broker can call you and say, "Put in more money today," or "I sell your stocks right now." That's called a margin call. So everyone starts selling, not because they want to, because they have to. Selling makes prices fall more, which triggers more margin calls, which triggers more forced selling. It's not just panic, it's automatic panic, a machine that turns fear into collapse. And then, Black Tuesday, the market drops like the floor vanished. Now here's the twist. The Great Depression wasn't caused by the stock crash. The crash was just the match. The real disaster came next, because the crash didn't just erase wealth, it erased belief. People saw the market implode and thought, if stocks can vanish overnight, what else is fake? So they ran to the banks. They demanded cash. But remember the first pretend. Banks aren't vaults. They don't have everyone's money sitting there. So when too many people ask at once, the bank can't pay. And when people realize that, they run faster. That's a bank run. And it's terrifying because it's logical. If there's any chance your bank fails, you withdraw first. Because if you're last, you get nothing. So banks started collapsing, thousands of them. And when banks collapse, money doesn't just get tight, it disappears. Savings vanish, businesses lose accounts, loans stop. The economy doesn't slow down, it freezes. Now the uncomfortable math shows up. Prices start falling. That sounds good until you understand debt.
Debt doesn't shrink just because prices shrink. If you owe $100, you still owe $100. But when wages fall and prices fall, that $100 becomes harder to earn, so debt becomes heavier. The same number weighs more. People default, farms get taken, homes get repossessed, businesses shut down. Unemployment explodes, eventually reaching around 25% in the US. That's not a rough job market. That's 1 out of 4 workers with no income. And here's the most absurd part. The public story in the 1920s was, we're richer than ever. This is permanent prosperity. This is the modern world. The underlying reality was borrowed money, fragile banks, overconfidence, and a system that could not survive fear. The economy wasn't strong, it was leveraged, and leverage is just a fancy way of saying we made everything faster and breakable. Zoom out, and the depression becomes bigger than America, because money and trade are global. Banks fail overseas, countries fall into crisis, trade collapses, politics turns unstable, and one lesson becomes painfully clear. When financial systems break, it's not just numbers that collapse. Trust collapses in governments, in institutions, in the idea that tomorrow will make sense. So if you explain the Great Depression like you're 5, the answer is simple. Too many people believed a comforting lie. They believed money was solid, banks were safe, debt was harmless, and prices always rise. Then, one day, people stopped believing, and the whole machine, built on confidence, broke. Which leaves one question that still matters today. If modern money is still built on trust, what happens the next time trust breaks, but the system is too global to rescue?